There's so many stories I'm sure you can hear your grandparents, your parents, your guardians, whoever brought you up, or just stories from society from when you were younger that money is not a plaything, that you have to take money seriously. You have to, spend and save with intention, and it means a lot, and it's really big and dramatic and serious, right? Ugh. Who grew up totally afraid of understanding money because it wasn't taught to us, right? For me, I was always so like turning the other cheek of looking at my bank accounts, understanding my taxes, doing my taxes, all of these things that are really important for the well-being of our finances. I turned away from because I didn't understand it and it felt too serious. So my intention with More Money Mondays is to inject some life force back into your finances, to make your bank accounts feel blessed up. This is really, really fun because we have an opportunity every single day, multiple times a day, 100 times a day, to rewrite our money stories from that of shitty scarcity mindset to a new kind of embodied magnetism, finding the frequency of prosperity. That's what it's all about. And that's where the fun comes in. So I'm going to keep it nice and quick today and give you a few practical actionables to making your finances feel fucking fun. Especially if you are like, I don't want to deal with them, they stress me out, I'm overwhelmed, I'm anxious, there's not enough. I'd love for you watching live, or if you're watching this on YouTube, to drop down below in the comments now, what are some of the regular thoughts and feelings that you have about money? Go, purge them out. It might be there's not enough. Money doesn't grow on trees. I don't have enough to do what I want. I will never have enough. I have to work really hard to earn money. Tell me in the comments below of what are the most common money stories that play in your mind. Now, why I want to know that first is because these stories are so deeply embedded, these blocks or beliefs, if you want to call them. And while they are grooved nice and deep in your subconscious, it doesn't mean that they can't be changed. It's just offering us a bit more of a gentle approach to change, because when we expect our stories to change overnight, we set ourselves up for the same spiral of self-sabotage by we're not changing enough quickly, this is too hard, it's not working, what's the point of all of this? So what I want to encourage you to do is to offer yourself grace through the process of shifting these stories to ones of more abundance and feeling good and joyous and prosperous. Because if you're starting at a place from stress, anxiety, overwhelm, scarcity, which, hey, there is nothing wrong with that, because that's what we're so conditioned to believe about money. If that's the system that you're currently in, it's okay. A belief is only a thought you keep thinking. So every time you hear those thoughts or you hear those beliefs play out, every time you're at the shops and you're like, oh, I want that, but then there's this immediate guilt or stress, or you see something on Instagram that triggers this like comparison of not enough. Every time that happens, you have an opportunity to pause, take a breath, drop into your body and ask, what is really true here? What is true? And if you automatically answer and you're like, that I don't have enough, ask it again. Ask it again until you get to the core of it, until you drop into your body. Is this true? Is this true? What's really true? So that's just a quick little way to work with beliefs that you're changing. There's so many modalities that we can do this with. I love breath, sounding, movement as ways to shift my operating system. I love things like acupuncture, myotherapy, chiropractic to assist in my physical body getting on board with this. But for those of you that are repeating those kind of mantras, not intentionally, just because they're a record from the past, like we had Rainbow Minds Wellbeing sharing with us, there's not enough, it's not consistent. Connected Craniosacral said, I don't have enough, I'm not worthy without earning more money, money is everything. Whew, yeah, I feel the density of that. And so when we're caught up in this, we're thinking in absolutes. We're holding this tight so that the story itself can cling on for dear life. It talks in full stops, in periods. There's not enough, there will never be enough, not worthy, full stop. right? What we can do when we start to inject financial fun into our money relationship is to start to interrupt that pattern with lightheartedness, with levity. So a few ways that I like to do this. Let's just dive right into it. Number one, I like to bless up my bank accounts on a regular basis. This means bringing my ceremony and ritual that I do for myself with my intentions for new moon, full moon, whatever it is, whatever kind of ritual that you have for yourself personally, bring that into your relationship with money too. See what happens. See how your feeling shifts, how your state shifts when you make checking out your bank accounts ceremonial. Bless up your bank accounts by treating it as sacred work, because it is. When you log onto your bank account, instead of just transferring money really quickly, not wanting to look at the balance, not wanting to think about the debt or the stress or the owing or the payments, slow down, schedule it, schedule a money date, show up as if it is a date. You know, put a nice dress on, put some jewelry on that makes you feel abundant. Get yourself into a place where you are showing up to something that you love, something that you lust for. It's really fun to show up to your money date as if it's a lover, because that's what we're doing, right? When we're injecting more fun into finances, it's as if you're in this romance, this affair with money, this love affair of calling more of it into your being. So dress up, show up, and have your money date. Bless up your bank accounts as if you are treating it like any other ceremony that you've experienced. I like to name and label my bank accounts. This is also in The Barefoot Investor, for those of you that have read that, although I don't align with what he labels his bank accounts as. I encourage you to find words or specific goals that you can label your bank accounts as. It's really easy to do in your online banking. My card account that I use every day is called Everyday Abundance. A couple of my savings accounts are called Rich as Fuck. Literally, when I go and deal with my accountant, she's like, okay, so there's XXX in Rich as Fuck account. And it just brings that levity to it, where money is no longer this really serious thing, like, oh, you have this much in your savings account, and always feeling like there's not enough, that there's a struggle to add to it. And instead, it's like, oh, that's so fun. Yeah, haha. Connecting to like that baller, badass energy, right? It makes me feel bigger and more expansive. And when we do that, magnetism turns on, more money wants to come in. So tell me below, if you're watching this live, what's a way that you can bless up your bank accounts? Perhaps for you that means literally smudging your MacBook screen when you open it up on an internet browser. I have done this. I literally blow any of that old stagnant frequency off of my bank accounts as if it's a tangible thing. You know, if you go to a yoga class or a workshop, perhaps you've been involved in a smudging ceremony before where someone has sage or Palo Santo or rosemary. And the idea is that the smoke clears and cleanses any old energy like a blank canvas. So that's one way you could do it. And it might feel silly, it might feel, you know, a bit weird, but just start to play with money as a frequency, as an invisible energy, rather than something that is tangible. Because as much as there is cash, you know, we can hold cash in our hands, most of the time we're dealing with money as a digit on a screen that changes and goes up and down without us ever seeing it, right? So we're getting less and less opportunity to play with the tangibility of money. And so we need to romance it as if it is an energy, because it is, right? Connected Craniosacral says, one of the ways I can bless up my bank account is saying thank you when I transfer money or buy something. Yes, so good. Just that attitude of gratitude means that there is already enough. And law of attraction, law of sufficiency says that if you are in that place of enoughness, you will only magnetize more of what is. Like attracts like, in the most basic of that principle, right? Thank you so much for that. Number 2, having fun with your finances and treating money as a plaything. is starting to cultivate this cheeky relationship with money. Money is really cheeky. At least it is for me, because that's the story that I'm writing about it. Money is a neutral energy and is the result of any of our projections onto it. So if you're currently holding a story, like we discussed before, that money is evil or someone with money is greedy, then that's how money is currently presenting itself to you. It doesn't feel so good, right? It's kind of icky. It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to be that, so I'm not going to call more money in, which is cock blocking your cash flow. For me, I have rewritten the story over and over and over again using scripting, which you can learn more about on my website or through my course, Alchemist, all about conscious creation, is that money is a cheeky energy that loves to surprise and delight me. Money is found in miraculous ways. Money comes from source, from Gaia, from Earth itself, as a payment to my existence. That's the kind of level story I'm playing in. Because it's true. Because it's all true. Money acts as a result of the story that you project onto it. So, bringing more playfulness in and treating money as if it's cheeky means that it feels more fun. I love to tip if it feels really good, and when I do, I imagine that I see all of the ways that it's really supporting and delighting the people that I tip. So I can imagine their face on the other end of the screen being like, oh my God, miraculous money. I wasn't expecting that tip. Or every time that I invest in something, if I buy or purchase an item, whether it's my groceries, whether it's something online, a product, I, again, imagine the other person on the other side. Because even if it's a big company, there are still humans involved, right? And this just brings the humanity back to the transfer of money, to the exchange of money. Rather than like, okay, I'm going to tap my card and get this salt lamp, I imagine, what is the salt lamp going to give me? How fun is that? What light and the glow that it's going to give me? And who made this and where did it come from? Starting to just bring a bit more intention with every purchase lightens the load, because you will notice very quickly if your spending, if your circulating of wealth is actually in alignment with your values. I touched on this in last week's series, so you can re-watch More Money Mondays from last week if you're more interested in the integrity piece. So this number 2 then is treating money as if it is a cheeky energy or an entity. Peter Kelly talks a lot on this as money has ears. It listens to everything that you say about it, everything that you feel about it. So for me, approaching money as if it's a cheeky, playful entity gives it a persona, as if I'm interacting with a person or a personality itself, which means I speak to it, I shower it with gratitude, I call upon it when I need it, but I also have fun with it. So I might make a wish of affirming, today I find money miraculously and today money surprises and delights me. I might find it, or it might enter my field in a surprising and delightful, unexpected way, right? And then I keep my eyes open. I'm like, where could money be hiding? It's like a treasure hunt. You know, you start to open the lens, get your reticular activating system working for you to look for the potential opportunities where abundance wants to come to you that you weren't looking for before. This could mean, as you're walking down the street, now that your brain is wired to be looking for unexpected abundance, it notices the $10 note that's on the pavement. There has been literal scientific studies that if we are not looking for it, we cannot see it. Our brain only takes in a certain amount of information per second, and if we are not programmed to be looking for certain things, we're not going to see it that it's there, right? Which is this is for everything, but for money specifically, you can program yourself in that way, that money finds you in unexpected ways. And finally, to bring more fun into your finances. Ooh, what is the final one I want to share with you? Because there's so many. I love to find a song that represents my most wealthy, expansive, abundant, opulent, affluent version of me possible and anchor myself to that song. For me, it's been Seven Rings by Ariana Grande. There's also one that's literally just called Money. I have a whole playlist on Spotify that you can find me, Emily Hazel, that's called Money Honey, that has all of these songs in it. But the song could be totally personal to you. One that makes you feel like a rich bitch. One that makes you feel like I can do anything, I can create anything, like a really big, playful, fun energy. Not something that's like sad. Like, no, I don't want to deal with that. Ooh, I haven't heard Ariana Successful before, so thank you so much for that. I'm going to check that out. When I play my song, Ariana Grande's Seven Rings, I literally feel my body open. I literally feel those codes coming into my system and working with me, right? Like there's something in the song that's communicated through the lyrics, through the music, through the process, through the film clip if you've seen it, that brings this like unapologetic, abundant version of me through. When I play that song, and I do it almost every day, whether it's in my car, in the sauna, before I open my bank accounts, I am attuning to money as the frequency of freedom, the frequency of flow and fun, right? I lust for it. It feels liberating. It's yummy. So then whenever I do a payment or I make a transfer and I'm letting money out, it doesn't feel like a stress anymore. It feels delicious to give and to circulate. It feels fun to let money move through me because I know it's coming back, right? Wholehearted says, Shining by Beyonce and Jay-Z and DJ Khaled is also a super abundant song. Yum. I'm going to look that up too. Thank you so much. So I'd love for you to tell me, if you're watching this again on YouTube or on IGTV, drop in the comments box below, what is your rich bitch song? And don't just let it be something that you listen to once and then forget about. Rewiring your nervous system and rewiring and rewriting your subconscious systems need consistency, commitment, and repetition. Repetition is your best friend when you're slaying an old story and embedding a new one. Music is one way to do this that feels really good because it brings your whole body online. It's not just a mental game. It's not just reading. It's the full body experience, right? So play the song once a day, every day, with the whole intention to just tune into abundance. It's not about cultivating abundance where it wasn't. It's simply about changing the channel to the abundance that already is. How easy can you let it be for money to feel fun? How easy can you let it be to become magnetic to money? How easy can you let it be to let abundance flow in, for finances to feel free? Just starting with those questions starts to crack open the availability for yourself to receive these resources. Have fun with it. That's the whole fucking point. If it feels gross, use my emotional alchemy processes to shift your state. And just remember that if you're stuck in fear, scarcity, stress, overwhelm, anxiety, not enough, all those shitty, yucky, dense feelings about money, if you're there, don't expect to jump to here, which is like, woohoo, I'm the most abundant, rich motherfucker that lives on this planet. I can do anything. I can achieve anything. I can create anything. Wealth is my birthright, blah, blah, blah. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Don't expect to jump from here to here so quickly. There's a few steps in between, you know, there's like a, oh, cracking open, oh, 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 ah. It's a process. So notice what shifts your state just slightly and then grow on that. It's such a joy to have this series with you every week. I fucking love talking about money as a frequency. It's so fun because we get our feedback really quickly. As soon as you tune into something like this, as soon as you think a new thought, money is there listening and will respond. It will show you. It will come up in a miraculous way. It will, present a new idea to you to get paid for. It's really, really yummy. So thank you so much for listening in. I can't wait to see all of your comments when this is reposted as an IGTV of what your rich bitch song is and how blessing up your bank accounts gives you more money. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And let's play in affluence together. That's what we're here for. Empires of wealth is your birthright, and I don't want to play in the shallow end of forgetting that any longer, and I don't want that for you either. Money is fun, money is liberating, money creates convenience, money allows us to be more generous, money allows us to be more of ourselves, and if you're connected to your heart, there is no wrong that you can do with your money. So let it be this romance, this love affair. Enjoy, and I will see you next Monday for the next installment of Mo Money Mondays.